Alright, you guys, so obviously we're going to be starting this look off fresh face. I do apologize in advance if the footage look a little yellow. I feel like the lights are really bright, so if so, bear with me this time. We'll make adjustments in the next video. So for this video, I did want to do a sit down, chit chat, get ready with me, because I feel like I never really get a chance to talk to you guys and catch y'all up with like things in my life. And for the start of the new year, I feel like I got some things that I want to share, so I'm like, let's just do a chit chat, get ready with me. And also do our makeup, because I haven't done a makeup video in so long, and I've really been putting off trying that latte makeup trend for a while now. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So first things first, I'm gonna be starting off by priming my face with my e.l.f. Power Grip primer. Now for the latte look and my definition of it, I feel like it's a very dewy look. It's very bronzy, it's very minimalistic. So I really don't want to prime too much, just in the areas that typically break down quickest, which is my T-zone area. It is currently 9 degrees in Chicago. I am dry as a freaking piece of bread. Okay, baby, anything I put on my face right now is just going like it's one of those situations. So not too much priming, not too much, you know, powder. Just we want to keep it very dewy, because like I said, girl, the weather outside is treacherous. Okay, so after we're done priming, I'm going to go ahead and go in next with my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion in Deep Glow, which is the darkest shade that they offer. But I feel like it's going to give us that bronzy, that summer kiss look, that je ne sais quoi. Yeah, that's what this gonna do. I ordered this off Amazon. It was fairly inexpensive. I think it was like maybe like $6 or $7 or something like that, but it's not bad at all, and it's so freaking gorgeous. So I am putting this on my face, but again, just kind of focusing on the areas that the natural light hits, which is going to be like your cheeks, the center of your forehead. Yeah, just pretty much this area of the face. And as you see, it instantly gives you that natural sun-kissed glow, but not too overpowering. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using my Dior Nude Air Serum, as well as my e.l.f. Halo Glow Flawless Filter, whatever it's called, liquid filter, together. So I feel like I wanted to just go ahead and dive right into the chit chat portion of the video. The start of 2024 has not been bad. It's actually been pretty okay. Like, honestly, for the year to just start, I don't feel like too overwhelmed, because I feel like the new year can start and you can either be overwhelmed or you could feel just like really optimistic about the new year. And I feel like I'm just kind of like in the optimistic phase, where I'm just like, well, nothing bad is happening, you know, I can't wait to see what the new year brings, but also like not super, how can I say it, I guess I would say not being super calculated with how I want the year to go. I'm a very go with the flow type of person, because I feel like tell God your plans and he laughs. Like, we can have all the optimism in the world on how we want the year to look, and it's up to him to decide if that's gonna come to fruition or not. So I don't really make plans. I kind of just go with the flow. I'm gonna just go ahead and start blending that in. Now, with me kind of like going with the flow of things towards the end of the year, like in December, like right before the Christmas holiday, I had noticed, like I had been noticing it maybe back in November, somewhere around there, that my belly area and a little bit like in the pelvic area, you know, your lower bikini area, it felt very, very firm. And I was like, oh my God, why does it feel so hard right there? Like literally firm. And I asked my aunt, who's a nurse, and I'm like, you know, Auntie, is this normal for it to feel like that? And she's like, oh, well, seeing how you haven't had any children, it's pretty normal. Yours will be firmer or whatever like that. And then I asked my best friend, who also do not have any children, if I could touch her, if I could touch her stomach area. And it was soft. I was like, no, my shit don't feel like that. It feels very hard. Like, it feels different. This is not normal. And then she felt it and she's like, yeah, that's not normal at all. So instantly I started freaking out. And then I'm like, okay, I have to go see my gynae because it's been a while since I've had a pap smear. Now, you know, as a woman, you are not required to get a pap smear every year as long as you have had normal pap smears previously. Only if you have like an irregularity would they want to see you more often, but typically if you have like normal pap smears all the time, I think it's like maybe once every 2 to 3 years, depending on what age bracket you fall under. Guys, if you hear a collar dangling in the background, that is my dogs. They are literally attached to my hip, so I'm sorry if you hear them in the background. So I went in for my pap smear because it had been maybe like 2 years since I had my last one. And I saw a new doctor because the lady that I had been seeing for the previous years, you know, she was no longer there. So I'm on the table getting my examination, and you know, it comes to the part where she has to kind of like feel on your stomach or whatever, and she was like, oh, and I was like, oh what like, girl, don't react like that. Now I'm panicking, like, what is going on? And she was like, oh, you have fibroids, my love. Huge fibroids. You don't feel that? So I told her, I was like, you know, I had noticed that it was feeling very firm in that area, but I couldn't tell you why. I said, I knew something wasn't right, but I said, I literally thought that I was gaining weight. Because my abdomen is really distended, like it looks big, and I just thought that I was putting on weight, y'all. Like I literally did. And this is not to say it in like a bragging type of way, but I've never been big. I've been skinny my entire life. I used to be a size 0. I'm no longer a size 0, but I used to be a size 0. Like I just always been tiny. So when I started to get a gut, I naturally thought that I'm just gaining weight. I've never had a gut before, but I'm like, okay, I'm gaining weight and it's just all going to my stomach area. That's why it's looking so big. That's why it's so, you know, but I'm not putting it on anywhere else because my arm's still skinny. My legs are still thin, XYZ. I'm just blending this in really, really good to mix them two together. So then my doctor goes to say like, so you thought that you were only putting weight on in your stomach, you didn't notice this big bulge? And I was like, girl, like I didn't know. So she's like, no, this is a really big fibroid. It seems like one really big one, but of course we won't know until we do like an ultrasound or whatnot. I'm gonna now go in with my Tower 28 concealer. So I'm like, okay, I have fibroids, what the hell? So she was like, I don't understand how your previous doctor didn't catch this or make you aware of it or what, because the size that it is lets them know that they've been growing for a while. And I'm like, no, this is news to me. Nobody ever told me I had fibroids, and I had no reason to think that I had fibroids. Like I literally genuinely did not know. So anyway, I go and get the ultrasound, and the ultrasound is hard to like get a clear image because the one fibroid that's sitting like in the middle of my lower abdomen area is so big and so pronounced that it literally took up majority of the room. Like you really couldn't get a clear image. So she only could do what she could, like get what she could see and kind of calculate the size of it. But she said that based on the reading, the fibroid is about 15 centimeters in size. And then I have another one that's like, I guess maybe behind it on the side of it somewhere, that's 5 centimeters. Now, those are just the two that they could visually see. She said she won't know the extent of how many I actually have until I get an operation. And that brings me to my second point. After we kind of got like a visual of what we were working with, she was asking me like what I wanted to do as far as treatment wise, as far as like the options that I had available. Now, as far as treatment, there were 3 treatment options that I could do. There are 3 procedures. 2 of them are like laparoscopic procedures. So they're minimally invasive. However, they will only shrink the fibroid by 30%. So if you got a 15 centimeters freaking fibroid sitting in your stomach, 30% isn't a big difference. Do you get what I'm saying? So she was like, I feel like the best option for you would be to have a myomectomy, and that's basically where they just cut you open and remove them out. Now, when I had thought back to this, you know, when we were having our conversation, I was like, oh my gosh, my mom had this same procedure. And if you did not know, fibroids are genetic. So if you are a woman and your mom has them, there is a possibility that you can have them as well. And I remember my mom having really big fibroids and having to have the myomectomy procedure done to get hers removed as well. So that should have been like a telltale sign for me, or a forewarning sign to me. But again, I just wasn't educated on it and I didn't know any better. So I decided that the best option for me would be to get the myomectomy, because these fibroids have been so like bothersome for me. Like, I literally wake up 6 times in the middle of the night to pee. 6 times. I kid you not. I do not like get a nice night where I could sleep throughout the night without having to wake up to pee. And that's because these fibroids are sitting right on my bladder. Like, it's sitting right on my bladder. Like, maybe some of you have been pregnant, you know, like when you're pregnant and the baby starts to drop, you know, they say that the baby sit on your bladder and you have to pee a lot. I mean, I've never been pregnant, but this is just what I know from like friends and their experiences. But you tend to have to pee a lot, and I'm constantly waking up in the middle of the night to pee, and that shit is so irritating alone. Even if I like go to the movies, girl, if I go to the movies, I gotta pee 2 times without the movie. Like, I just always have to pee, and that's so annoying. My periods are kind of like harsh, but they're not too bad. To be like something I couldn't handle. Like, it just is what it is. So that doesn't really bother me, but it's more so the fact that it's like pushing on my bladder, and then also because it's so big, it's like I feel like it's sitting on my intestines, because often, like, sometimes I'll just feel like this fullness in my stomach to like I don't want to eat. I know I need to eat because I haven't eaten all day, but it's just feeling like my stomach just feels full, and it's just really uncomfortable. And I feel like that's why I'm always constipated and just stuff like that. Like, literally, it's been crazy. So she was like, you know, I just think the best option is to just go ahead and get rid of them, and then that way you won't have to ever worry about dealing with them again. Now, she said that I wouldn't have to worry about them coming back as long as I did a preventative treatment going forward, and what she recommended was getting on birth control. And that's another thing, I've never been on birth control, so my estrogen levels were just like spiraling out of control, my hormones out of control, and that is one of the reasons why fibroids are able to grow as big as they get, to my understanding, what based off what she told me. So I'm like, so I've never really been one to be big on birth control. I kind of just feel like let the body do what the body gonna do, you get what I'm saying? And I never wanted to alter my hormones in any way or shape or form. You know, I kind of just wanted to let my thing do its own thing. I obviously use protection with my partner. That's like our mean of contraception. But I never wanted to be on birth control. And again, I think that's just why my fibroids got as big as they got, because my levels were just so high and spiraling. So after I have the myomectomy, she told me that I have to get on birth control like immediately afterwards to prevent them from coming back. And I can only get off birth control when I try to conceive, and then after I conceive, I have to get right back on them. Like, I'll be on them until I hit menopause, basically. So that brings me to my next point. Obviously, you know, in my 30s, I do eventually want to have a kid. And that was the next question she asked me. She was like, you know, do you want to have a kid? And then if so, when? And I was like, well, maybe like in the next year or so, I want to start trying to have a baby. And she's like, oh, well, that will be perfect, because after you have this procedure, you have to give your body at least 6 months to a year to heal before you can try to get pregnant, essentially. And another thing with that is, when I become pregnant and I have a child, I have to have a C-section. after I get a myomectomy, I will not be able to have a natural childbirth. And that kind of like was really hard for me to accept because I don't want to have a C-section. I want to deliver my baby naturally, but with them cutting in that area and having to stitch it up, they can't risk the stitches rupturing. And even like a year from now, 2 years from now, you know, it's just a preventative measure from anything like ripping down there or putting too much stress on that area after you've had it operated on. So when I do have a kid, I will have to have a C-section with every pregnancy. Baby, I said, if that's the case, it may be one and done for me. Give me one and let me just go ahead and close up shop. Wrap it up real quick. So yeah, that was really hard for me to hear. But I mean, it's kind of just like is what it is. There's nothing I can really do about that. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and set now with my Laura Mercier because I don't want my concealer to start breaking up on my face. So as far as the recovery time for the myomectomy, it does take 6 weeks to fully like be cleared. So the first 2 weeks I'll be like essentially like on bed rest. She was like, you know, no driving your car, no walking your dogs, like nothing that can disrupt the stitches. So we kind of just want you minimal activity, stay in bed, da da da. And she was like, you know, just don't try to like overly exert yourself for 2 weeks time. And then once you get clear for that, then I'll have to come back for my 6-month clearing. And absolutely, and she stressed this, no sex for 6 weeks. Like absolutely no sex. No, can I stick the head in? No, nothing for 6 weeks. And I was like, that's cool with me. I'm all right with that. So yeah, 6 weeks recovery time. So with all this being said, I did go ahead and schedule my procedure. It is scheduled for April, and hopefully I don't cancel. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, like I'm so terrified. I do not want to have surgery. Like I asked, I was like, can I be woke when you do it? She was like, absolutely not. Like, no, it's a very bloody procedure. You cannot be awake for that. Like, I wouldn't even be comfortable allowing you to see what's going on. She was like, it's gonna be a quick little nap and you'll be okay. But I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep. Like, I'm okay with blood. Okay, I'm fine with it. But yeah, no, I couldn't stay awake. So I definitely asked though. But I have it booked for April, and I'm just so nervous, you guys. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that's normal. I feel like everybody gets nervous if they're about to go under the knife or, you know, have any procedure, no matter how commonly done it is. It's nerve-wracking, you know. I'm kind of putting a little bit on my jawline to just define it a little bit more. Next, I'm going to go in with this Say Glow Scope. I've been wanting to try this out. I've been holding on to it, but it's in the Bronze Glow. I'm going to use this as my bronzer if it's pigmented enough, and as well as my eyeshadow. I feel like this will be really funky to use on my eyes. But before I do my eyes, let me gel my eyebrows up. I don't fill my eyebrows in like that. Sometimes it just depends, but for the most part I don't fill them in. I just brush them up and be done with it. And I'm not one of those people that clean their eyebrows up with the concealer. Girl, too much time. I don't care that much. Now, as I was saying, of course, like with every procedure, you know, people are going to be nervous about having it or whatever. So I'm just like really nervous about that. But I'm also concerned because I have a history of abnormal heartbeats. Like there have been times that I've had to wear a heart monitor for like weeks in just so they can get like a reading of my heart to make sure that it's nothing too wonky going on that requires like either a procedure or medications to regulate it. But there has been like one-offs with my heart beating normally. So that concerns me about the operation. She did say that before I can have the surgery, I do have to have like medical clearance to get it. So I'm gonna have a couple of EKG done and then like a full blood workup and everything before the procedure. So I'm really just concerned more so about that. I'm like, can y'all have a cardiologist on standby, please and thank you? Like I don't know, that makes me nervous. But one of the things that she told me, she was like, you know, I understand with every procedure comes risk, with every procedure comes nervousness and the fears, but one thing you got to understand is that I'm a praying doctor. I'm going to pray for you before I put you on that table, and I'm going to pray for you when you get off that table. She was like, you know, you just have to trust in God and then also trust in your doctor. And I was like, you're right. Like, of course, I naturally overthink everything. I'm a very anxious person. I could be a very pessimistic person at times. But I've said this is the time I have to, like, tap into my faith and really just put that faith in God and say, Megan, that as long as you call on Him, you have faith in Him, it's going to be okay. Like, you're going to be all right. Like, rest your mind and just know it's fine. Sorry guys, my voice was cracking a little bit because I get really emotional thinking about this, because like I told y'all, I'm so freaking scared. Like I'm just like, oh my God, like why me? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like God wouldn't give me nothing I couldn't handle. So I just kind of got to keep that mentality and just, you know, be prayerful, be positive, and just deal with it. So yeah, I pretty much just wanted to share that with you guys because like I didn't know that by my mom having fibroids that it was a possibility that genetically I can also have them as well. And then also the simple fact that the lady that I was seeing for many years before then never educated me, never told me, never said anything about it to me. And had she had told me something before, this could have been preventative. I could have done, they have like medication, steroids that you can take. I believe it's some type of a steroid that you take that shrinks the fibroids. If they're like a nice reasonable size, it'll start to shrink down. But because mine are so big that it's no longer an option for me, like the medication will do pretty much nothing for me. So I'm just sharing this with you guys so that you can go to the doctor and you can get yourself checked out and just make sure that you're good, so that you don't end up in a position like me having to have a procedure that could have been avoided. Guys, look at this gorgeous bronzer. Oh my God. Oh wow, this looks so freaking good. I cannot wait to tap in. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in, I'm gonna start working it into my crease and use it like an eyeshadow. Oh nice. So right now it's looking a little mauvey, a little purplish. I don't know. I'm gonna still continue to blend it in. And I apologize if there was an interruption in the video. My camera only lets you record up to 30-minute increments and then it stopped. So it stopped recording. I had to press record again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and darken it up a little bit. I have this palette from Huda Beauty. It is the Caramel Brown palette. This palette is pretty old. And as you can see, I have not hit pan on any of these. I rarely ever use eyeshadows anymore. I feel like the older you get, the less you wear, if that makes sense. Like, I will only do a look like this if I was going to like dinner for my birthday, or if it was like a special occasion or something like that. But genuinely, I would not wear this much makeup. I'm gonna focus it on the outer corner of my eye and kind of push it into the crease. So really just darkening the outer corner and then pushing it in. I went and got my Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette. Looks like this. I'm going to use this brown here to kind of darken that outer corner a little bit more. Hopefully this gives me the chocolate darkness I was looking for. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay guys, so now I'm going to go in with this shade. It's from Bobbi Brown. It's called Galapagos. I probably said that so wrong, but I'll have it linked down in the description if I can find it. But it's just this really cute, like, brown with gold flakes. And to be quite honest with you, I probably could have just used this by itself for this latte look and been happy with it, because I'm not really feeling how my eye is turning out. And I just like to use my hand for this and kind of just pack it on, because I feel like it just looks super gorgeous that way. It's this like little glitter shade in this Huda palette. Let me see if I could just tap it. Oh, Gorgina! I'm start brushing off that excess powder, although it's pretty much kind of dried down. But now I'm going to start bronzing my face up because I feel and look very washed out right now. For bronzer, I'm going to be using my Say Sun Melt Bronzer in Deep Bronze. So all in all, you guys, I would love if you guys could give your girl some words of encouragement in the comment section down below. Just, you know, reassuring me that everything will be okay. Like, I just feel like I just need that from my friends right now. Like, oh, Megan, we know you worried, but girl, it's gonna be okay. You know, just kind of help me ease my mind. Because when I say this weighing like really heavy on me, and especially since January fucking flew by. Like, hello, it's gonna be February. My birthday is next month. Like, oh my gosh, where did the month of January go? It just went by so fast to me. So I'm just like, baby, before I know it, April's gonna be here, and I'm gonna be sitting there like shaking in my boots. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Bronze Glow over my bronzer to diffuse it a little bit, and to also use it like a blush. I don't think that I want to wear any blush today. I think that this by itself will add some color to my cheeks, as it did. Look at that. Gorgina. Wow. And then it just blends straight into the bronzer. So love that. Although I said I wasn't going to use blush, this blush from e.l.f. is so freaking good. It's too good that I'm just really tempted to add some. And literally, you just need a little dot. That's it. You see that? You barely see it. But I promise you, that's all you need, girl. A little goes a whole lot with e.l.f. And I'm going to blend that in. And that's just going to warm it up even more. And I'm going to go back into that brown from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I am just going to add this to my bottom lash line. I normally don't do this, like smoke out my bottom lash line, but I'm going to smoke it out just a little bit. Then I'm going in with my e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara. This stuff is so freaking good, y'all. If you are in a market for a new concealer and you want something affordable, definitely recommend trying this out. I have on my Impressions false lashes, so I'm not going to put any mascara on. And because I feel like we need just like an extra glow for this look, I'm going to use this like gold color highlight to just add to my cheekbones, just to give this look a little bit more glow, because we want to get that like latte bronzy look. I like to put a little bit down the bridge of my nose, And then also like a little bit on the middle of my forehead. I pick a little bit up and put it on my Cupid's bow, but like really blend it in so it's not too pronounced. So for my lips, I had a hard time deciding if I wanted to be a glossy girl or if I wanted to be a matte girl, but I decided to be a glossy girl. So with that being said, I'm going to be using this Kiss Professionals Luxurious Intense Lip Liner. This has replaced my NYX. My NYX lip liner was my go-to, but this Kiss, oh baby, it got me in a chokehold. It's literally so freaking creamy. It's like the perfect shade brown. I love it. I'll have everything linked down below, of course. Like, do you see how it just glides on? Ah! And I do like to slightly overdraw my top lip because I feel like it's not as full as my bottom lip. And I had thought about putting a little bit of filler in it, but now I was like, girl, I ain't got time for that. Ooh. Y'all, I promise you I found this lip gloss in my collection and I didn't even realize I had it. It's the NYX Butter Gloss in Brownie Drip. She's cute. Okay, girl. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set my face using the Sephora Makeup Setting Spray. This stuff is so freaking good. I love it. Are you fucking kidding me? Why is it spread out like that? Hold on. All right, you guys, so this is the final look. I love how it turned out. Now, girl, at first when I was doing my makeup, I was like, I don't know, I don't like that. It ain't coming out the way. But you know what? I kept going. I trust the process and it turned out cute. And I think that's something I'm taking from this video. Just like, trust the process, Megan. Like, hold steady. Trust the process. Trust that it's going to be good in the end. And hello, a testimony, because baby, the face is sitting purr. But of course, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Again, you guys, thank you for letting me make this video and just vent to you guys. I feel like y'all are my friends, y'all my family, y'all my community here on YouTube. And I kind of just wanted to share that with y'all because like I said, it was really eating at me. It was causing me major anxiety. And also too, I've been noticing like editing my videos and a lot of the clips, you could see my abdomen area. And it was one vlog that I posted, y'all. I had on that black and white dress. Girl, I look like I was 4 months pregnant. I said, girl, they don't think that I'm pregnant taking shots of tequila. And that's not the case. So I just wanted to like let y'all know, like if you see that going on with my body, it just is what it is. I'm just looking very pouchy right now because of the fibroids. So just be kind, give your girl a little grace, and hopefully we'll be flat real soon. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, give me some love and some grace in the comments down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, dolls.